Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for convening this hearing today. Ensuring the long-term viability of our transit systems is a critical component of addressing our broader infrastructure needs as a nation. Transit systems are an economic driver for our communities, generating $4 of economic returns for every dollar invested and creating over 50,000 jobs for every $1 billion we invest. And while I have always supported funding for our critical highway programs as well, we need to place that same emphasis on our transit systems. They cannot be an afterthought. As the ranking member of the committee's transit subcommittee, I hope that the subcommittee can begin to engage more substantively on this issue and that this is the beginning of a robust process that results in a transit title for the FAST Act reauthorization that we can all be proud of. Mr. Mortimer, let me start with you. The Northeast Corridor produces 20% of our nation's GDP, and a shutdown of the Northeast Corridor would cost the economy an estimated $100 million per day, according to Amtrak. The century-old rail tunnels under the Hudson River that currently connect New Jersey to Penn Station in New York and the nearly 110-year-old Portal Bridge are linchpins of the entire Northeast Corridor, dire need of repair and replacement. The Gateway program would replace this aging infrastructure and make other improvements to a 10-mile stretch of the Northeast Corridor that serves over 200,000 daily New Jersey Transit and Amtrak passenger trips on approximately 450 trains. So let me ask you, do you believe that Gateway is a nationally significant project vital to the continued viability of the Northeast Corridor?
Senator, there's no doubt that the Gateway Corridor is a key project that not just affects New York and New Jersey, but the whole eastern seaboard. We believe there is a federal component about that, and we certainly want to see all stakeholders come together to address that issue. The longer we wait, the more it's going to cost. And I will want to say real quick while I have the mic, I want to defend the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. We have advocated extremely hard for infrastructure, as equally as hard as we've had for tax relief. Our CEO, Tom Donahue, I dare any senator to say there's not an advocate more for investing in infrastructure than Tom Donahue. We've been out there for years and we're in an infrastructure now button. So, sir, we really do care about infrastructure, and this is a top issue for the business community.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that. I didn't raise that question, but I assume someone else did, and you're taking my time to do that. So let me move on. Mr. Skoutelas, having just discussed the importance of Gateway on a national scale, do you believe that the federal government has an important role to play in the funding of such nationally significant projects?
Senator, I do. For the reasons that you mentioned and that Ed Mortimer reiterated, there's no question about the importance of that investment and the merits that it does have. So we are very supportive. We think it should be included for federal funding and something that we want to see move forward.
And Mr. Willis, as a project that will have a ripple effect across the Northeast Corridor, can you speak to the impacts that Gateway will have on your members, as well as the importance of having federal engagement on transportation projects that have a national economic impact?
Thank you, Senator. Look, what I can add is a couple of things. When you talk to our members who have to operate the trains through those tunnels, that have to maintain the signal systems, the electrical systems, the track themselves, they tell real horror stories. We've got a big problem on our hand. Yeah, obviously, you know the economic consequences of shutting down that tunnel. You reduce capacity by 75%. But our members will tell you that there's a real problem right now going on in there that needs to be addressed. We were heartened that the administration changed the rating for Portal Bridge North. Disappointed that they did not do the same for the tunnel itself. The cost recently has been reduced by $1.4 billion. Amtrak is kicking in several hundred extra million dollars. The percentage of federal share has been reduced again. So this project is ready. We hope the administration sees fit to approve it and get it funded in the right way.
Thank you. And Mr. Skoutelas, in APTA's recommendation for a surface transportation reauthorization, you recommend codifying the RIF loans that should be used as a non-federal share of a project, which is common sense considering that these loans will have to be paid back by the project sponsors. The Gateway project ran into this issue with the current administration counting financing, which again must be paid back, as part of the federal share of the project. We've fought to include language in recent appropriation bills to prevent this policy from taking effect. Why is it important that transit systems have access to a wide array of financing tools, and that these loans, which again must be paid back, be appropriately counted as a non-federal share?
Well, Senator, I think it's critically important that the public transit industry be able to exercise a full view of all the tools that it can leverage to implement these major projects. The idea of the TIFIA loans and RIF loans being considered as federal financing really goes to an argument that we think does not hold water. We believe that TIFIA loans and RIF loans to be paid back by local dollars are indeed local share and should be considered as such.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.